Jeffrey Sachs, a well-known economics professor and development expert, currently the director of the Earth Institute at Columbia University, argued that geography has a key role in the development of a nation's economic growth. He believed, due to various factors, countries near the equator will find it difficult to develop or may never become developed economies. In this video, we'll investigate and uncover the validity of these claims. Will countries near the equator ever develop? A glance at the global map reveals a striking pattern. Wealthier nations like Northern Europe, the United States, and Canada are predominantly located in northern latitudes. This north-south wealth divide is not just a global phenomenon but is also observed within nations. This actually backs up the claims of Jeffrey Sachs, as southern countries are generally closer to the equator. The disparity isn't confined to global scales, it's also evident within countries. From Kazakhstan to the United States, the north-south economic divide is a recurring theme. As you approach the equator, the countries usually get poorer. Within the USA, the per capita income does seem to decrease as you go south. The map illustrates a correlation between geographical location and economic prosperity within the states. States depicted in dark blue represent the wealthiest ones, with a per capita GDP exceeding $105,000. In contrast, states shown in white have a per capita GDP below $75,000. This visual representation reinforces the initial hypothesis that wealth tends to increase in states situated further away from the equator, suggesting a geographic pattern in economic distribution. Countries such as the USA and Russia, which are situated further from the equator, generally exhibit higher levels of prosperity compared to those closer to the equator, like Guatemala or nations in Southeast Asia. This pattern is particularly evident in the case of Africa, the region with the lowest average economic status, located predominantly along the equatorial belt. This geographical economic correlation suggests a significant relationship between a country's proximity to the equator and its economic well-being. Furthermore, figures like Montesquieu and Henry Thomas Buckle have attributed the economic stagnation of tropical countries to their climates, suggesting that colder climates foster more vigorous societies. Additionally, technology, primarily developed in temperate zones, often fails to meet the needs of equatorial regions, exacerbating the divide. Diseases also may be a factor, particularly those thriving in warm climates, have historically hampered the economic potential of equatorial countries. For example, every year malaria is estimated to cost Africa $12 billion in lost gross domestic product. It is estimated the disease has slowed economic growth in Africa by 1.3% per year as a result of lost life and lower productivity. Some experts and scientists theorize that the harsh winters in northern regions compel civilizations to innovate and adapt. This necessity drives the development of sophisticated infrastructure and advanced food preservation techniques, ensuring survival and prosperity during the colder months. However, it's important to note that this theory has not been conclusively proven by scientific evidence. However, this does not imply that economies near the equator are inherently incapable of achieving developed status. While there may be unique challenges associated with their geographical location, becoming a developed economy is certainly within the realm of possibility for these regions. There are notable exceptions. India is a remarkable example of this. Situated near the equator, it defies the conventional economic expectations for such a geographic location. In 2023, India emerged as the world's fastest-growing economy and is anticipated to maintain this rapid growth for at least the next decade. This trajectory positions India on the path to becoming the third largest economy before 2030, eventually becoming a developed economy. However, despite these impressive strides, India's per capita GDP remains modest, and the nation continues to face significant challenges with widespread poverty, even amidst this economic expansion. But other tropical economies such as Singapore and Hong Kong also stand as notable exceptions, defying the general pattern. Classified as high income by the World Bank, these regions demonstrate economic prosperity that surpasses many Western economies. Their success challenges the notion that proximity to the equator invariably correlates with lower economic status, showcasing the complexity and variability of global economic landscapes. Throughout history, numerous civilizations near the equator have demonstrated significant scientific advancements and development, challenging the notion that proximity to the equator correlates with lesser development. In Mesopotamia, now Iraq, around 3500 BC, the Sumerians began recording observations of the cosmos, using cuneiform tablets. This included meticulous numerical data and early forms of Pythagorean triples. Their astronomy was groundbreaking, contributing to the foundations of scientific astronomy worldwide. Mesopotamian astronomers developed mathematical methods for predicting lunar phases, eclipses, and the length of daylight throughout the year. Their work in astronomy was so influential that it shaped the solar year, lunar month, and 7-day week in Western calendars. Ancient Egypt also made significant contributions in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. Egyptian geometry, crucial for surveying land alongside the Nile River, included the use of the 3-4-5 right triangle for architectural designs. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the earliest medical documents, is considered a precursor to modern neuroscience. The city of Alexandria, with its renowned library, became a hub of knowledge and learning until its destruction. The Indus Valley Civilization, located near the equator, was also a hub of significant scientific advancements, adding to the examples of prosperous civilizations in equatorial regions. This civilization, dating back to around 2500 BC, was renowned for several key inventions and discoveries. These examples from history illustrate that civilizations near the equator, such as those in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indian subcontinent, have made substantial contributions to our understanding of early human progress and innovation, defying the assumption that equatorial regions are less advanced. The economic disparity between the northern and southern hemispheres can be partly attributed to historical factors, particularly Western colonization. Major empires like the British, French, and German, as well as the United States, extracted enormous wealth from regions like India, Africa, and the Middle East. The transfer of resources, estimated to be trillions of dollars, notably from India, significantly impacted the development of these regions. However, the global economic landscape is evolving. With the relative decline of traditional Western powers and the rise of economies like India and China, there's a gradual shift of wealth back to the South. This change echoes Ray Dalio's observations on the cyclical nature of empires and economies. Historically, Asia, once a major contributor to global GDP, is regaining its economic strength. The current global economic situation, shaped by historical colonization and recent geopolitical events, is dynamic and subject to change. It's projected that equatorial countries such as India, Bangladesh, and Indonesia will become future economic powerhouses, challenging the long-held view of the North as the primary center of wealth. This potential shift suggests that the theory of northern economic superiority might eventually reverse and is in fact not true. As we conclude our exploration, we invite you to share your thoughts on this theory. Do you concur with our observations? If you found this video engaging and informative, please show your support by liking and subscribing. Your feedback is crucial in shaping our content. Stay tuned for more insightful discussions, and until next time, thank you for watching.